expect them to be here on Sunday. I just got to figure it out.
For sure.
Figure it out.
For sure.
So I'm just waiting on this to come live. Let me turn it down. Turn my audio. As soon as that pops on live, we're gonna get with it, okay?
For sure.
Ooh, the camera's on you though. When you speak, you can look at me or you can look at that red light. When you see that red light on, the camera is on you. Okay. Okay.
All eyes on
Come on
me.
live here. Make sure I got some audio kicking in. Tap, tap, tap. It takes a minute to get through YouTube. Then we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna talk trash. I'm gonna flirt. Make everybody want to watch because they're trying to figure out if we really, you know what I'm saying. Then we start getting serious. We got an audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's dope. I didn't catch nothing on here yet. Give it a sec. Sounds eerie.
Something, saying something, saying something to be said. Styles, congratulations on the wedding. I hope your wife knows she got a player for life, and that's no bullshit. Congratulations, bro. Sure. God bless you, man. God bless you. Baby Rocky. I got 4 viewers. That's what I had on live. Hey, I'll never be going live because I don't be like want nobody to like exactly where I'm at. Right. Huh? That's really what held me back over all these years. We was trying to go live. I'll be preparing to go live. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check.
All right, here we go. I'm about to go ahead and get it started. All right, y'all. It's the DJ Squirt Radio Show. We are live in the studio of Nerve DJs Radio. It is Sunday, 3 p.m. Y'all better know it. You better download that app live on Google Play, iTunes, anyway. Download that app, hit that TV, and you can see me. Yeah. She's live in the studio, baby, every Sunday. I have a guest. I have an ultimate, wonderful guest that I have admired watching on social media myself. It is my first time meeting him. Hi, Wall Street West.
I think we met like one time.
We met?
I want to say it was something I did like with J.R. Fogle.
Who?
I remember one time meeting you, and after I met you, I kept on calling. I met another female DJ. I kept on calling her DJ Squirt. I thought she was you the whole time.
Ooh wee. Can you hear me in your headphones?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just making sure because I couldn't hear her about that. Okay. Oh, she probably was mad, wasn't she?
Yeah, for sure.
It's only one DJ Squirt in Cleveland, Ohio, baby. One female DJ Squirt that's rocking the mic around here.
For sure.
Let me tell you how I became DJ Squirt. I was MC Squirt before I was DJ Squirt.
Yeah.
I'm older than I look, but you can just pretend I'm like 35, okay?
I was giving you a good 35.
You can pretend I'm 35. I'm cool with that.
Right.
So check this out. I was teaching some kids. I believe in our communities. I believe in help because I had the issue too. And I had these little kids in there, right? I love the little boys because I feel we get strong men. Even if we have bad women, they can definitely put that on the women automatically. So I believe in the young men first, right? Not because I'm adorable, but just because I do, right? So I had these classes. We were over on Chandler Park. And they brought the kids from the group home and everything. And I'm talking to the kids and this and that. I'm showing them videos. This boy said, "You ain't no real DJ. You ain't even got no turntables." What? So, back in the day, disc jockey meant, control the music over the airwaves. It didn't mean physical DJ. But instead of me arguing with him, I went and bought some damn turntables, and I'm damn good. What? My late 40s, I was DJing. Don't do whatever you want to. All right, here we go. Everybody knows when you interview with DJ Squirt, there's 3 rules that you must follow before we have the interview. We gotta have some fun, right? You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I like that. Anyway, so to interview with me, you have to follow these 3 rules. Once we complete the rules, and it's hypothetically speaking, it's not real. Oh my God, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. You got to say that now with social media. It's not real. All right. So, but what I like to do, I like to establish relationships because our youth now are so tapped in with iPhones and video and media. I'm going to put some positive media out there. So subliminally, I'm going to build a relationship with you. Mm-hmm. We're going to establish some boundaries. And then you're going to be creative and care for me instead of yourself. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
You're not going to get in trouble, are you?
No, I ain't
okay.
in trouble.
Rule number 1. Now that you have entered this studio, you belong to DJ Squirt.
I hope I agree.
Yes, you have to agree.
Okay.
We're establishing boundaries here.
Okay.
All right? If you are married and you got a woman you love in your life, just for 20 minutes, you got to separate, okay? If she got a problem, I'll get y'all back together, okay? This is just for show. All right. Okay, here we go. Thank you for accepting rule number 1. Rule number 2, now that we're in this beautiful relationship, any hoochie mama, baby mama, wife, she got to go. She out for 20 minutes.
I'm supposed to say yeah.
You have to agree.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I gotta check the box.
He like, girl, you about to get me killed. Oh, okay, I ain't gonna let you get hurt. I promise you. Okay, so here we go. Now that we're in this beautiful relationship, we can't just be both beautiful, handsome. We have to physically get along, right? How we gonna enjoy ourselves? So what I like to do is a really long scenario. At the end of the scenario, it actually teaches people how to listen, right? And cater to the other person. But before we do all of that, I've got to give you my tips. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
DJ Squirt likes some 6 feet and up. How tall are you?
6 feet even.
You better say it if you ain't, but good. I believe you are. I believe you. Dope. That's 1 in the pocket. Rule number 2, DJ Squirt has a voice fetish. She loves voices. If you get in trouble with me, you can say anything in the right tone, and you're safe. So what I need to do, I'm gonna test you. I know you sound good, but this is what I want to do. I want to test you out. You ready? You have to say my name. How you gonna say my name if that makes me not be mad at you no more? How would you say it to make me happy?
I think I should say it like in a country singer's voice. I should like.
That's a good one too.
You said you had a voice fetish, so it was like I would just take you to Nebraska real time.
Yeah, that's dope.
You funny.
That's dope. See, these questions, it's building your personality. You know what I'm saying? It's building your personality, and people get to see your personality, things they probably would never get to hear of you, right? Okay, that's dope. Here we go. What I want to do right now, this is how you get Squirtified, certified with DJ Squirt on the interview. What I like to do is read this long, drawn-out scenario. At the end of the scenario, you tell me how you're going to make me happy. Incorporate the tips that I told you of myself, and keep your answer PG. Okay? Here we go. We took a weekend away in a cabin on a hill. 2 nights, 3 days. Anything you can think of, West, Wall Street West. We did that, okay? Whatever it is, we did it. All right? It's the end of the weekend. We done did our thing. We both some bosses. We made our money, okay? Your girlfriend, me, look out the window. While we packing up Monday morning, phone's going crazy, all etc. Look out the window. It's 20 feet of snow outside. We are stuck another day in this cabin. And your girlfriend done got an attitude. Now, we all know what it looked like when a girl get an attitude. Y'all stuck in the cabin away from home. You're both dependent on each other's energy. It's real ugly, right? So the reason is that we both some bosses. If I have to stay another day, I'm missing out on some money. You know, we only do this every blue moon, so now I got an attitude. You tolerated me all day. It's the end of the night. Here's the scene, babe. It's the end of the night. You tolerated me all day. You ready to throw me out the damn window, right? You about done with me. And we're sitting in front of the fireplace, right? You know, we had a great time. I didn't mention, but anyway, we sit in front of the fireplace. You pour me some wine, trying to chill me out, right? But I'm still acting funny, rolling my eyes and stuff, acting funny, playing hard to get, that type of thing. And but I don't have any clothes on, but I'm playing hard to get. Okay, around this fireplace, you pour me some wine, I'm rolling my eyes. You got to tell me what you would do in this situation to make me happy. How creative are you?
First of all, little mama, I won't be pouring you a cup of wine. I'll be pouring you a cup of Douce.
Okay. So you about to knock this off, girl, right?
Be pouring you a cup of Douce. You know, mine will be straight up. Yours will probably be on ice.
Okay.
You know, I'll look you dead square in your eyes and let you know 2 wrongs can't make it right. And there's bigger things out here to worry about than money, little mama. You know? So that's what I would do.
I like that. You a boss. Hey, now.
Sure.
You have now been Squirtified with DJ Squirt. What? I gotta get my sound effects together. We working on that. But now you done got splashed on, baby. That's what it gonna be when you get splashed on with DJ Squirt. That is so freaking dope. Thank you. All right, here we go. We gonna get down to the nitty gritty. We got one of the dopest in the city. Everybody gotta have some type of personality. You gotta be able to get along, have fun. You can't always be exactly what people see online for you, right? So what I like to do, I ask the same questions even if you were Michael Jackson. I ask everybody these same questions. This is my motto. DJ Squirt is about bringing people together, showing them who you are, what you're made of, sharing your challenges, struggles, and your success so that you can be an inspiration to someone else. What? Did I sum that up or what?
For sure.
It's about how we behave around the people that we are with. It's some 60-year-olds can learn from you.
For sure.
Because it's just real bad now, and it's really important how we treat other people. So here we go. We're going to tap into who you are, where you come from, what you're made of, and we're going to get into the real deal. You ready, Pumpkin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are you from?
Cleveland, Ohio, Leon Harvard area.
Okay. All right. All your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Awesome. Hey. How many siblings did you grow up with in the household?
I have 4 sisters.
You have 4. Ooh, you know how to take care of a woman. Either you hate them or you love them. One of the 2. You know what I'm saying? Okay, 4. This is my magic question. Because I'm the cutest nerd you'll ever meet. You might meet some beautiful people, but I'm the cutest nerd. Okay? So here we go. I did this study because I was interviewing independent artists. I'm all about supporting independent artists, people in the community, and everything like that. And I noticed, I said, the people that's really doing really good in this game or really making a change or people adapting to them, the number child was very important. Okay? So, what number child are you?
I'm number 4.
You're the baby?
No, I got a sister younger than me. It's 5 of us.
Okay, so you're almost the baby, but not the actual
and
baby.
I was kind of like the baby because I was the only boy, so.
Oh, they babied
I
the
still
hell
got
out
baby
you.
treatment.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, unfortunately, you're already successful, so that takes you out of my theory. This is my theory, and that's why I do that. Just because people see something, they tell them that the sky is blue. Michael Jackson said the sky was blue, but you looking out there and it's gray. They'll believe Michael Jackson before their own eyes.
For sure.
So that's just my theory and my experience and what I've been through. That's another lesson with DJ Squirt. Woo woo. So you don't fit my theory, but you're dope already. So you could have been. Well, what my theory says is either the oldest, the middle, or the only child that are extremely gung-ho and successful out here because of the number child that they are. That doesn't mean it's true. That's just my theory. But you're the only boy and baby boy.
Sure. What age? What number was Michael Jackson?
I don't know. He was a baby.
Was he? No, I think Janet was
No,
younger
Janet
than
was a
him.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, look, okay.
So I'm kind of like
I
Michael
said the right
Jackson.
name, didn't I? Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the spirit.
Because he had
working.
Janet right up under him, so
Look
I
at
had
the
it.
spirit be working. Look at that analogy.
Yeah,
Put
spirit
that
of
together.
Mike.
That's fire. You right though.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Look at you.
I'm definitely giving Michael Jackson vibes right now.
Wall Street West, you're fire. Okay, dope. All right, here we go. I asked this next question because there may be, I want you to consider your answers if you have any challenges, struggles, and successes that took place while you were in school. Share with me what took place, how you got through it, what you did to get through it, and how you feel about it now. I target this because we've got kids 8, 7, 6 years old trying to kill themselves because they think it's the end of the world and don't know any different.
For sure.
So, describe for me in your life, how was school for you?
You know, I knew at a very young age that school really wasn't for me. You know, I would show up every year, eager to learn at the front of the classroom, even with the bare minimum stuff. Like, you know, I didn't have like all of the school supplies like everybody else had, or the best clothes. I probably got like 3 outfits for the whole school year.
So what? You had
You
clothes.
know, but I just didn't learn like everybody else. You know, like later on in my life, I learned that I'm more of a kinetic learner.
Okay.
So I would start off at school at the front of the classroom. By the end of the school year, I'd be in the back of the classroom because they really lost me, and I'm not having nobody really help me or give me a better understanding. So they just kind of passing me along, and I just kept on getting passed along until I eventually dropped out for real.
Okay. No, hey, that honesty is very important because I also believe that school isn't for everybody. I don't want to say this like that, but we all learn differently. We're all from different cultures. We all have different experiences. We have, you know, and the system is expecting teachers to teach 30 students in one room, you know what I'm saying? Something in one structure that doesn't apply to 29 of them.
For sure.
So I don't down anybody for leaving school, but you do want to take those lessons that you learn and learn how to maneuver and be able to handle what you need to handle with what you got. That's okay.
For sure.
Learn more to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at these superstars out here. It's people that didn't even finish school, started a business, and taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
You know, society made this. Society made that. It's okay though. So that's why I created the DJ Squirt Academy, and I'm gonna definitely have you up in here and talk to these babies. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
In no way am I telling anybody to drop out of school. Please don't take that. People take anything you say and run with it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you still got to learn and utilize. And school is really not made to touch and help everyone,
Right.
especially whatever conditions they're coming from and the environment that they grew up in. All right, that's dope. So you dropped out. Now we really got something to talk about. You dropped out. What happened after that? What was your goal? What were your options? And what did you decide? You know, what was your path here? What took place?
Once I dropped out, I went on a run
Okay.
from the police.
We really got to back up. Why did?
Yeah, for sure. I had got kicked out of Kennedy, and then I was going to Warrensville, and Warrensville was trying to kick me out too. And because I had got some guys at Warrensville to let my auntie come through. They worked at a store, and I had an auntie who passed away. She used to be coded writing bad checks, so I convinced them to let her come through their line and write the bad checks. So one morning they had called me like, man, don't come to school. You know, the police here looking for you. You know, like them bad checks and caught up.
Oh, okay.
And I just never went back.
Okay. May I ask, what was the drive to write the bad checks versus doing something a little more non-criminal?
I wasn't per se writing the bad checks myself. My auntie, we just kind of like assisted her. She was like a mastermind, and I think that if she didn't like have an addiction, then she probably would have been a millionaire off of selling trap. Like, she was so brilliant that she used her brilliance for crime, and she was just known for writing bad checks. But she would, in one day, easily run up 20, 30,000 in bad checks. But then she had a habit, so she gonna smoke up to 20, 30,000 in the night.
Oh my God, really?
You know, she did that every single day. Like, every day that was her thing. And like, our role would be like, say if it's like a female at the cash register, we'll flirt with them and take their attention off the fact that it's a bad check being written.
Oh my!
Or we'll help her
goodness.
to the back to the car,
Oh
but she was the
my
actual one
goodness.
writing the checks, and we just loved her so much. Her name was Money.
I see what you're saying.
You know,
love
it was
her so much.
it was my father's sister, man. And what I loved about Money was the more me and my cousins, which were her sons, the more we hustled, the more she'd spoil us. Like when we had some, when we was like getting out making money, she'd do stuff like, I'll be like 17 years old. We have our own house, brand new everything, 2 refrigerators because we had so much food. But when she seen that we was hustling, she just made sure that she rewarded us for really being on top of our business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were rewarded for assisting. Did you realize it wasn't right?
I didn't care. I
didn't
ain't
care?
come from nothing. You know, so it was just like, I was really more in for the adventure and the fact that, you know, my mother's side of the family, we didn't have no family because my mother was adopted. So my father's side of the family was all I had. So it was just like, just being around my bloodline, like this what they into, like, and I ain't mine for real. So
Felt like a part of something.
yeah, for sure.
Shoot, that gratification to give you anything you want every time you got away with something. Okay.
We was loaded. Like even we was selling drugs, she would like reward us for, you know, because I remember me and her son, we was probably like 13. I remember she sitting us down like, listen, if y'all gonna be a Jones, man, y'all gotta have some hustle about yourself. Y'all can't be sitting around this baby. We kids still. We ain't thinking about hustling.
Right, you doing what you told.
And she made us get on our grind, you know. And me and that same cousin, we both ones end up catching the 10 years together in prison.
So how you feel about that now? Looking now, see that's one thing. You know, kids are easily influenced. You know, by getting that mental gratification and satisfaction, then they continue to do that behavior. So you keep getting that because it feels good.
Yeah.
I get it.
I would have did it without the rewards though. It was just, you know,
Really?
just being alive. You know, my mind, like, you know.
Wow,
know.
that's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. So, I mean, you what do you think about? How do you feel about that now? Doing that, you still okay with it because it's just part of your life, or how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave here and go write a bad check.
No, you.
No, I'm just.
You better get off my microphone. You better get off my microphone.
After I went to prison, man, any form of crime was out my system.
I'm getting there. there.
Yeah, I ain't.
So you guys did that, and what did you get arrested for?
Aggravated robbery.
Wow.
Yeah, I got caught in the act by off-duty police officer.
Wow. But do you know that society, in my opinion, this is my opinion, these societies are made up geographically on purpose for those options to be there for you on purpose.
For sure.
So you can do those things on purpose.
For sure.
So you can be gone. So you
sure.
kind of fell into a trap that was made for you.
Indeed.
They can't force you. Now that a lot of people are thinking, well, they can't force you, but I'm just saying, a lot of people are deciding to not go that route. This, you know, a couple generations before me, they decide not to go this route, right? So it's like society, I believe a lot of things happened on purpose to push it back to that narrative because they're making money off of prison. They're making money off of these, you know, they put it on paper. Yeah, we donated $80 billion to the community to help. How about you start with them being when they're born? Don't wait till they're grown. That's my opinion.
Right, and we
That's
hungry.
okay. Okay. So how old when you went to prison?
When I had just turned 21 like 2 weeks before.
21.
I had just turned 21.
Tell me about your arrest. Share that with somebody. So, what you got arrested for? How did it happen? Like, what happened? As far as how they came and got you? What took place?
Me and my cousin had went to go rob a store earlier that day, and we was unsuccessful. They must have seen us coming because they locked the door. So we got to the door locked. They standing behind the door looking at us like, you ain't coming up in here.
Right.
So when we leave, we kind of upset now. We mad, like how dare them stop us from robbing them. So on our way to the next store, my cousin like, man, we done robbed this store so many times. Man, we gotta really let them know we serious. So I'm so young and so gun ho, he like, man, we gotta shoot the store up. So I'm just like, all I can think about is shooting the store up. I ain't even thinking about the robbery or the money. Right. I'm not thinking about none of that. And before we go into the store, normally we would wait till the store clear out. But this particular night, we was robbing in desperation. We had blew all our money. We was broke.
Oh my God.
And so we was kind of robbing out of desperation. So we kind of went against a lot of our rules. Even before we went into the store, we was sitting in a bus stop, like masking up. And my cousin drove past, one of my older cousins, and I had seen him earlier that day. He was trying to stop me from doing a robbery.
Right.
Even to the point where, man, I knew I was about to go to prison. Like I felt it. Like even to the point I hugged his daughters goodbye because I felt like possessed. Like even though everything around me is telling me like, man, Wes, man, you going to jail. It was like something that was over me. Like my feet wouldn't stop moving, and I fully knew that I was going to jail that night. And when my cousin rolled past, we looked at each other like, man, that's a sign. And even though we said that out loud, man, we still masked up. We went in there and I shot the store up. When I shot the store up, everybody submitted. And I ran and got the money. The whole time we thinking everything cool. We go hop in the truck. We pulling off. I throw my cousin the money. We dapping each other up. I might count it.
Dang.
So as we ride, and I realized we being followed. When I was shooting the store up, it was a officer on his way to work. So he's still in his regular personal car. But when he hear the gunshots, he see us and they're robbing it. He start calling for backup. So before the backup even get there, we out. So he following us the whole time, trying to, keep his eyes on us until the other police get there. And we end up losing him. And I remember us sitting on the side street and everything in my spirit was like, man, Wes, throw this gun. But it was a brand new gun. I had just got it. And I felt like we had got away. So I'm like, man, I'm not throwing this gun. But my spirit like, man, throw the gun, bro. Because I had other robberies on it. Like I got the gun robbing another store. Like I robbed the store, see they had a gun. I took the gun for myself. So the gun was registered to the store. So I was just like, man.
So angels walking with you. Go ahead.
All day long.
That's really angels.
So we pull off the side street. I see a whole bunch of cops just flying down the other way. But I'm thinking they going back to the store. They surround our truck. Me and my cousin, we sit there. So my cousin, he panicked. He like, it's over with. So I'm like, shoot, it just begun. It's just beginning our journey. So he get out the car first. They walk him over to the car all nice and neat. When I get out the car, mind you, I waited like 10 minutes. After he got out,
he's told on you. Go ahead.
No, he ain't told on me.
I
When they took him out the car, I'm sitting there. They commanded me to get out the car, and I finally did. When I did, they picked me up in the air, slammed me. As I'm on the ground, and I'm looking up, the police is toasting champagne, like from catching us, because we had terrorized Toledo so hard, man. They literally had flutes of champagne toasting each other on the crime scene.
I got him.
And I remember getting in the back of the police car and getting to the police station, and I just called my girlfriend that I had at the time, and I just let her know, like, hey, man, tell everybody me and Dave ain't coming home for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Whew. Okay. So, explain that walk into prison the first day.
Man, I was so young and I was so wild. Man, I was excited. It felt like I was in the projects.
What the hell? Why would you?
Man, I just...
Don't you see why they made them projects like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't them projects remind you of prisons?
For sure.
They remind you of prisons.
For sure.
Go ahead.
But I remember being in the county jail, and I'm just bragging about myself and, talking about how I get money. So I remember a guy come up to me. He was a dope fan. He was like, man, you said your name was Wes? He like, you from Cleveland? He like, you got another cousin named Dave and you got another cousin named Wes? So I'm like, yeah. He like, shh, man, it's a blessing you in here. So I'm like, ain't no blessing about being in jail. But so he tell me, like, he started naming some of the guys that I was selling weed to and being in the neighborhood with. He started naming them, like, you know, such and such, such. I'm like, yeah, I know all them my dudes. He's like, man, last night I sat on my couch and smoked crack, and they all sat there and made a plan that tonight they was gonna kidnap you for ransom money to murder you afterwards. If you hadn't went to prison, they was coming for you because your cousin.
Did I say angels?
They said your cousin had did some grimy stuff, so they was gonna kidnap you to get him for the money. They was gonna kill you afterwards. He was like, man, I sat there and watched the whole thing go down. He's like, how you think I know all this? Yup, and all I did, I remember going to my rack. Well, I was on the floor at the time. I've been at a rack and just pulling the covers over my head and just like in disbelief for real, because I believed him because he was too accurate.
Wow. Didn't I say angels? I knew
for
it.
sure.
It was angels making, and you seeing the signs, you hearing it, you seeing it, you know it. Those are, people got to pay attention to that intuition.
Yeah, for sure.
But you kept going for a reason. You wanted to stop, but you knew, never mind, I'm going to do this. Yeah,
for sure.
You needed to be in prison.
Yeah, for
You'd
sure.
have been worse off. Thank God. And I also say this, not saying thank God you were so bad,
No,
but
I thank God, too.
that
I
you
thank
weren't
God,
killed. How
yeah.
about that? You got to be careful what you say on this media. They be turning your words around.
Right,
Next
for
thing
sure.
you know.
People do it in real life too.
Yes. So they'll look at the same one thing that we're looking at here, the same one conversation that we heard, and it'd be 10 other negative things versus the one hallelujah. It's
people
crazy.
sick. People sick. I could tell somebody like, hey, man, that's a nice black shirt you got on. They'll look down. They're like,
He was hitting on him.
no, they're
He
like,
gay. All of a sudden.
they're like, this shirt white. I'm like, man, I'm looking dead at your shirt. It's a black shirt. They're like, no, this is a white shirt.
He said,
I'm like, oh, they playing the sick
Bobby
game.
Jimmy said it's white. Right. They gonna
Yeah.
listen to somebody else they ain't even see. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And I have an activity in my school where, I don't know if you remembered it, but it used to be called the telephone game when we were young.
I don't know.
So the telephone game is, you have, I'm not going to have no more than 8 students in my class at a time. There's no way I can reach anybody with a bunch of kids in the class.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be 8 students a class. I got 8 desks exactly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the first child a quick story about what happened, right?
Oh, yeah, pass it on.
Then he's going to pass it on. By the time we get to the last person, we're going to hear how different the story
Yeah,
was.
it's always gonna be different.
So it's always like that. So people need to learn that. So sometimes we need to know, shut your mouth. Feel me?
yeah,
You
we used
ain't
to
gotta
call
explain.
that the whisper game.
Yeah. So it's a lot of different activities I want to have for these children that they've taken out of school. Like they've taken it out. School used to be awesome. Well, never mind. I'm not going to get all into that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
I am grateful that you survived, you know. And was that the first day that you were in prison that happened? Like within the first week?
It was like that was that same night.
God protecting you. He getting that energy out for you now, because you get to doing that in front of all the millions of people in jail. Boy, bye.
Yeah,
You
for
wouldn't
sure.
survive.
Yeah,
You
for
wouldn't
sure.
have survived. All right. I hear you're a poet.
Yeah, for sure.
How did that come about?
My sister Javier introduced me to poetry when I was like 9 years old. And later on in life, I found out it was a gift because no one ever taught me poetry. Like, I just automatically knew everything about poetry. Like, I had like a sense of genius almost, because by the time I got to a point where I was actually in the poetry world, was in prison, and I just naturally knew all this stuff that I was teaching in class. But I just naturally knew this stuff. Like, nobody taught me. And I would go to the books to reference myself, and I just already, like, God just already gave me this wisdom.
Exactly.
And every prison I went in, you know, I taught people poetry, but I did it to show guys how to, you know, learn how to communicate instead of being violent. Because that was something that I had did for myself. Like, I felt like that I wouldn't have been in prison if I was a better communicator. So I just like really worked hard on my communication skills when I was locked up, even to the point where the second prison I was in, it's a housing unit, and there's probably about 48 people living in this one housing unit. And at the time I was probably like 23, and one day I just went to all the other young dudes that was in prison with in that housing unit. It was like 18 to 23, and I was like, listen, throughout the week we all being wild, we shooting dice, we robbing. I was like, but let's pick one day a week where we do something positive. And every Saturday we would get together. I would cook a big meal for all of us. It was like 15 of us. And then we would educate ourselves. And I would help them write poetry.
Dang.
And the warden of the prison came and got me one day. And she was just like, you know, I keep on hearing your name. She was like, I'm not hearing nothing bad about your name, but she's like, our only problem with you is we feel like that your influence is too strong and your mind state is too powerful. They're like, if you don't stop what you're doing, then we're gonna put you in a hole. And what was?
Wait a minute. What? Say that again. I need you to say that again.
Yeah.
So the warden came to you and told you that your name was getting too powerful, and it was a good influence.
Yeah.
And if you don't pipe it down, we're gonna put you in the hole.
For sure.
For being good.
Yeah, for sure. And they really said that to discourage me, but what they really did was they empowered me, because when a warden in a prison told me that my mind state was too powerful, man, the main thing that we was doing was teaching each other how to read. I could barely read at the time, so for her to tell me that my mind state was too powerful, it created a quest for me. Like, now I really wanted to have a powerful mind. By her saying that, I was like, I might be on to something. So when I went back to the house, I let the guys know what had just happened. But luckily at the time, we were studying Black history. And I was just like, man, the guys in the Black history books, they going to jail for what they believe in. We already in jail. So ain't nothing stopping us.
Exactly. What you gonna do first?
Yeah. And I did my first poetry show, in that day room. I remember like passing out cookies and coffee to everybody, and I helped every young dude organize a poem to tell their story, because all the older guys was like, man, y'all crazy, y'all wild. So we used the poetry to tell our story, let you know, like, this is why I'm like this.
Yes.
And every prison I went to, I taught poetry. I eventually became legendary in the prison system as far as poetry. Like, you won't never be able to go inside the prison system and mention poetry without my name being synonymous to it. Even to the point where when I got released, man, I had a buzz as big as Life Jennings. Like Life Jennings left from the same prison that I did. My buzz was just as big, and I had the population behind me. I had the staff behind me. Like, even to this day, the staff of the prison system, and they still back my plays. They still, like, if they can open up a door for me, they will.
That's
and they go out their way for me just based on everything I did with poetry. I was also the first inmate in Ohio to ever shoot a full-blown film while incarcerated. Yeah, for sure.
What's the name of the film?
It was called If I Knew Then What I Know Now.
I did see that.
And it was about young guys coming to prison and getting caught up in gangs. A young guy went to prison. He was out of town. And he had like a minor little case, like 2 years. And by him being out of town, the out of town dudes was taking a look at him, because that's how I really go. So he organized a group of other guys from out of town to protect himself, but they turned into a gang. Everything that they was trying to protect themselves from, they ended up becoming that. And the main guy who started the gang, he went on a spiritual journey. And his gang that he created, like, man, we out here holding it down. You over there going to the church and everything. We need you to make a decision. So in the midst of him trying to prove himself to his gang, he ended up assaulting somebody, but he ended up killing them. And he ended up turning the 2 years into a life sentence.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's all designed. Did you ever see the movie Trading Spaces? Trading Places?
It's an old school movie.
It had Eddie Murphy in it.
Yeah, I was about to say
Eddie Murphy was the old bum on the corner
I
of
remember
the
that.
bank. And the two old guys. This is life for real. People
Yeah.
think these are just movies. No, people are really expressing themselves through this way, and it's going over a lot of people's heads. They took a bum, like Eddie Murphy used to swindling people, and took the guy who was the bank manager and swapped places with him on purpose, designed everything to screw him up. That's life. That's what they doing in life. The people up top are putting these things in place on purpose
Yeah, for sure.
to screw you up. But you took what was meant to kill you
Yeah, for sure.
and you turned it around.
Yeah.
And that's how you do that. It's so unfortunate that as a child you are taught. You love your auntie. I'm not saying you ain't supposed to love your auntie. Love your auntie. But to be taught that is one of the worst things that could have been instilled in your spirit. But if that's what's around you, I understand. What choices did she have? What choices did she have before her when she was young? Like, we don't know. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But to come out with that mindset after being raised, then you thought it was fun. Of course you thought it was fun. But if you look at it now, oh my God. But I'm so glad you turned that around. And I know what you know I'm about to ask you.
Ask me.
I need a poem.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Go ahead and give it to me, then we're going to keep going.
For sure. I'm trying to find out which one is coming to my spirit at this very moment.
Okay.
This poem is personal. Something that I've never let any person know. See, my imperfect soul is in a bind like cursive, and I'm barely holding on. Like women who refuse to let their purses go to those who run by and steal purses. Though I am alive, my insides appeal hearses. Doing time comes with the cost, and my mind appears purchased. My mind is still perched in '09 where Shay Shay disappeared and it pierced. I'm still hurting. I feel worthless that I sit still searching for her to return to no avail. Maybe because I am low as hell on the totem pole and treat my family as if they owe alone because I am so alone. They treat me as if I am below a stone that reads rest in peace. Imagine that. West in peace. Instead, with each year, my stress increased from being stretched increased. It's been years since I've seen my mother, and she refused to come see me. Behind that, I haven't slept in weeks. I feel stabbed in the back to the point where I wake up in the middle of the night like I can feel the middle of the knife. And they be like, West strong, he fine. Not knowing that in the course of my incarceration, I've almost been murdered 3 times, so how can I be fine? When this time is beating my behind to the point where I no longer read but define the art of war. Because when the mind and heart's at war, it's the heart of war. And don't think that you aren't at war because you're not pouring your soul out into a poem. You're probably just like me. And I could really use some help like a heavyweight champ who's bound to lose his belt over politics. And that's why I felt Jeezy and Jay when they said, I done seen it all. Because I done seen a lot of shit. But you probably couldn't tell because I covered up with all this designer shit. If I live in a world that teaches what a man think of, so is he, then why can't I feel like I'm the shit? But I remain humble if someone else tells me that I'm the shit, but on some honest shit, it's like my peers refuse to see me with power. Like on some Amish shit. Tattoo my name on the forearm just to show the world that I'm the shit. But I ain't gonna lie. It got hard putting up with honest shit. And I just knew I degraded my soul in that moment where I threw out all the honest shit. So just like fruit will ferment, love will turn to hate, and I hate memories that are bittersweet. And I haven't been asleep thinking about the women who's taken me for granted. And granted, somehow I'm the reason why their heart is hard as granite. But I can't feel bad for them because look what all God has granted when I stop taking God for granted. Palm.
That's dope.
For sure.
I love you.
Appreciate it, Mom.
DJ Squirt love West Wall Street West.
For sure.
That is amazing.
I appreciate it.
You know, wow. I don't even know what to, you messed me up now. I can't even think. Okay.
Sure.
No, that's really, really good. And that's how we got to have an outlet to express ourselves. I'm so glad you found that.
For sure.
But a lot of times we see ourselves clearly once our heart is actually hurt. So for you to get that, the moment you hit them doors of that prison, how you saw was being designed around you that hurt your heart, that was that opening for God.
For sure.
I know you had to cry out to God in pain and crying or something.
And I really didn't, for real, man.
I know you did.
I was so young that I really wasn't taking the situation serious. But I feel like God kind of imposed his will on me. Because at a young age, when I went to prison, my biggest ambition was to get out. And because I kept it solid, maybe somebody's going to hit my mid with a brick or something like that.
And have a party when you get out, the girl buy you a bunch of clothes.
So I had the wrong intentions, and I felt like, you know, everything about me going to prison was designed by God. You know, like, it was really like the best thing that ever happened to me. I know everybody else can't say that, but
yeah,
man, it's like it really became a monastery for me, man. Like, the men in the prison, they rallied around me and they really seen something in me to where, like, if I would like be stealing and fighting, they be like, man, don't do your time like that. They'd send me to my cell with a list of words. And they be like, man, define those words and get back with me, not knowing that they was creating a poet in me. And while most men go to prison, they go to the Bible or the Quran. I studied the dictionary like it was my religion. Yeah. You know, I had every dictionary in every language and rhyming dictionaries, and the whole experience, it built me up. You know, like everybody in the prisons, they had their mind set that they was going to build me up and I was going to be the one to go out and represent them, because a lot of those guys was doing life sentences. Fortunately, a lot of those guys were able to make it home. But I don't know, it was like God had like this calling over my life to where, you know, my prison experience was just so much more different than your average person.
Yeah, no, but that's good, and it's supposed to be that way. So when you did say that that person told you what was intended for you, and it hurt you that all this was going to happen to you,
Yeah.
you couldn't do nothing but cry out to God at that point. Because now you don't have that boldness that you had on the street. Because you don't know if them people that was out there to find out where you are, go talk to them in there. You don't know.
No.
You don't know. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. I'm glad for you
appreciate
turning
you.
that power around.
For sure.
That's important. Everybody does not do that. They continue to run and move out of anger and hurt. 10 years enough time to heal, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Heal people see differently. That's amazing.
Yeah, sure.
So you got this started, and you started your business. I seen the LLC. What is it again?
Great minds think different.
Yes, great minds think differently, and they do. People call me weird all the time. I know now at this point, even at this age, I am dope. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't worry about what nobody say. I am
can't.
dope. I have great intentions because you're only as good as your intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to take whatever your pain or hurt that you have. You got to turn that around. You can't take fault or blame from somebody else.
For sure.
You got to take responsibility for yourself, and you're doing that. All right, so you out. You got your company.
For sure.
Where do you see this company going? What is success for your company to you?
Yeah.
Hold on, before you answer that. What kind of things do you need to see happen for you to be excited and be in what you're accomplishing with this company?
I'm already doing it. I believe that my company is already very successful. The thing about my company is I operate in the private market. So in everybody else's eyes, it's just like they root me on. But for real, I'm doing like very well. I just don't service the public. Everything that I do is in private. I service mental health facilities, prisons, hospitals. So a lot of these places that I go in is confidentiality clauses.
Yes.
If I'm running a program with a whole bunch of women who lost their kids to the court systems, man, I can't really tell the public what's going on inside
You're not
these.
supposed to, and it doesn't matter.
So
You're blessing people. Don't worry about it.
in February, my company had got to a point where I was like really happy at what I was doing. So I challenged myself, and I was like, you know what? If I did this well in the prisons in Ohio, man, I want to go to prisons all over the world. And just like that, it started happening to me, man. This Friday, I go into some prisons in Florida. While I'm down there, I'm going to connect with some prisons in Miami. I just connected with some prisons in California. So now I'm just expanding my territory and letting God use me on a global scale.
That's amazing. No, it's really good.
Sure.
If you can control your mindset, and this is another thing that I'll be teaching in my academy. When you see or recognize that someone has a particular disability, you're not so quick to jump and fight. You're just like, aw, you know. See somebody, you know, one leg, one arm in a wheelchair, can't hold their head up, talking about, F you, I hate you. You're going to be like, aw, right?
Right.
So if you teach these kids at a young age the X and Y chromosomes and what kind of behaviors come out if your cerebellum is messed up, right? And then people start acting like that, you like, oh, they cerebellum messed up. You know, oh, poor baby.
He's like, aw.
So it's also about education too.
Yeah.
That mindset, but that poetry, that's a great way to express it. Like I just got a whole rundown on you just out of that poem.
Yeah. See, when I work with the kids, I really take on a different approach
Yes.
than when most people work with kids. Like what I really do is, when I work with kids, I use poetry to show parents what's on the kids' mind.
They don't know.
You know what I mean? Because kids talk so much, we get burned out on them. But they be having some real stuff on their mind. Even when they go to school, that's a whole nother world for them. So with poetry, anytime I deal with children, I'm really trying to create a space, a healthy space to create healthy dialogue between the child and the parent.
Release
so the
that.
child can be more understood better. Yeah.
But the parents have to want to understand.
Yeah,
That's another
I
problem.
agree.
So, but if you can build them strong minds to be strong-minded on their own and be able to understand what your mom is just not going to understand, they don't have to take that hurt and loss with them forever.
For sure.
They can keep growing. So that's amazing. I love you. Okay. Get back to the questions. Okay, here we go. Look, okay, so you see where that's going. You want to, hit prisons and everything all over the world. What's your personal goal as far as it? Like, you want to hit them, but what do you want people to take from you? What do you want them to understand from you for themselves?
Usually when I go inside the prisons, I'm really excuse me.
You need some. I don't even know if we got any water in here.
Yeah,
I think
look.
it's locked up. Dang.
There ain't none of them coolers
Got some
right there. I don't
coffee or
think so.
something, huh?
Ain't none of that, them coolers right there. You think the baby just empty?
Hang tight. Keep talking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, usually when I go inside the prisons, I try to create opportunities for the most part. Ain't nothing going on in that baby. Yeah, that baby look empty, but I could tell by the way. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't. No, I'm okay. I don't want to work you. Yeah, usually when I go inside the prisons, what I do is I go inside there to sit down with the guys to create opportunities for them. The thing about prison is it'll strip you of a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
So what I do is I usually become a community partner with the prisons, and then I, bring real resources. I put them in position because when I was in prison, I had made it in my mind that I was gonna make a name for myself on the street before I even came home. Like most people are like, oh, when I get home, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Where I was like, man, I'm about to do that right now, and I did that. So now I help other guys do the same thing. Like before you even release, I'm gonna help you establish yourself on the streets before you even get there, so your transition can be smoother. And then I go in there just to also to warn guys about the obstacles they're gonna face when they come home, because the obstacles that you face when you come home from prison is not what everybody tell you.
Yep.
Like, and then when you come home from prison, as you face these obstacles, you don't want to share them with nobody because you don't want to go back to prison. So now you gotta just suffering in silence, and guys aren't coming home from prison commit more crimes. You got like some dope fiends here and there to do, but your average dude come up from prison, it's such a misconception of guys coming home from prison that when you see a guy come home from prison to go back, you automatically think, oh man, he just can't get it right. Not knowing
you never know.
that, I done been in situations where I was on parole, and my parole, they held me on parole for 7 years. They kept on finding different reasons to hold me on parole. I would be in situations where people would even try to extort me my parole. Like if I didn't do what somebody said, man, they'd pick the phone and call my parole officer, and just like that, they're gonna lock me up without even asking no questions. They're gonna lock you up first, and after like 60 days, then they're gonna investigate. So people don't even know this type of stuff exists. And usually it's really domestic issues that really send a person back to prison. So I'm going inside the prison, letting them know, like, hey, you got a wife and she been holding you down. What you don't know is the fact that she been holding you down, when you go home, she gonna feel like you owe her. So when you just try to walk to the store by yourself because she ain't dealt with her traumas,
getting off the leaf.
so now you at odds with somebody you love because she feel like you owe her. She not gonna say it out her mouth, but because she held you down all them years, she feel like you owe her. But it make it even worse because she got this mentality that you owe her. But the reality of it is she's just really good at a long distance relationship. When you actually living in the house with this lady on a day-to-day basis, man, she not mentally stable.
Yeah,
and you might have became mentally stable with yourself in prison. So now you dealing with somebody unmentally stable. So now, man, you got to lead this person to say yourself. And they like, oh, that was jail talk. Like, no, I had every intention on loving you, but you can't be loved. So I got to move on with my life because I done waited too long to be in love to let somebody who don't know how to love hold me back.
Yeah.
I gotta have self-preservation in this moment.
You get a lot from these books. Now, you just gave me a great idea for my school, too. I'm going to get some real dictionaries and put them in that class.
Yeah,
and
that's
have
mandatory.
a word every day. You just gave me a great idea.
Yeah.
Because that's how we learned when I was younger. We went to the dictionary. We didn't have phones. We didn't have the internet. We walked to the library and pulled out the books and would spend hours in there.
Yeah, to write, take notes.
Yes, we had to, and then take the notes home and go, okay, because you couldn't take the whole dictionary out the library.
For sure. I'm still in that baby for sure when I was a kid.
I think that's very beneficial. It processes things in your mind and the reading and and they don't do that anymore. Everything is visual flash, and then that's it. It's a photo memory, and that's what it is. That's all they know. Yeah. That's dope. Okay, so you're taking this all over. Man, I could really see it keep growing for you too.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have a team working with you.
Man, it's so hard to find people who would simply just follow directions. Like I one of my bunkies, man, this dude is a brilliant man. So in my mind, I'm like, man, you done sat in the same cell together for years. I watch your mind develop, so hell yeah, I want to utilize you because I know what you could do. And I'll be like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I need you to do. And he had draped me off talking about Bitcoin. Like, bro, you got to start getting into NFTs. I'm like, bro, I'm asking you, can you do this one thing for
Some
me?
people can pretend for life.
Yeah.
But if you got to have that back and forth, you just got to let it be what it is.
Yeah, that was deep. Some people can pretend for life.
They do.
That's deep. I never heard that before, and it's real.
I know for sure. We can have some. I got some stories for you.
Yeah.
I mean, real life, family, blood can
Yeah.
pretend for life. So be careful with that.
Yeah,
But
for
anyway,
sure.
it happened for a reason. Once you see it and you know it, you gotta avoid it.
Yeah.
Go on about your business. Do your thing.
Yeah.
God will give you people you don't even know to work on the team
Yeah.
and do what you need them to do
I
without
agree.
saying it twice. So
I
don't even
agree.
worry about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's dope. Keep moving. But anything you know the nerd DJs can do or myself, let us know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We'll
for
do the best
sure.
we can. But I think that is so dope. Okay, so you're moving around. You're doing this. Your intention is to.
What part are we talking about?
With the poetry and working within the prisons, what's your intentions?
My intentions.
Not that it has to go that way, because you never know. You might hit another prison and the whole thing change because of what you experienced there. But what is your example or intentions for this? Like, I'm doing this because I want.
I'm doing it because I feel like that because there is such a stigma on people who've been to prison that the real help don't exist. So I'm creating the help myself because I'm looking for it. Like when I came, like even to this day, even in my business, I search high and low for help. I might be getting paid like $1,000 a performance on a poem. I might walk in, do a poem, the check right there. I might make $800 in 30 minutes. But everybody I try to like bring into my company, because of the stigma just on my as a felon, they try to treat me like I'm a grassroots company. But I done built this baby up. I got a powerful thing going on, and people gonna always try to treat me like I'm just starting out or I'm a small company, but I'm really not.
They gotta knock your shine down. They
Yeah.
can see your shine when they see you.
For sure.
Just like when you walk in that prison and them men took to you and said, "No, don't you do it." They knew, they felt it. God
Yeah.
already worked with them.
For sure.
So they sue, and that's why they open their mouth and push you in another direction. They see your shine. Our
Sure.
bodies have an energy,
Yeah, energy don't lie.
no matter what.
Yeah.
So they know your energy. So they're not downplaying you. They're hoping you stay down.
Yeah. I might tell people like, hey, like after the pandemic happened in the prison system, you know, I really sat down with them guys in a certain prison. I was like, man, what y'all feel like y'all need? They're like, man, for real Wall Street, they're like, man, we just want to laugh. Man, we would just love to laugh. So I started working on bringing Dave Chappelle inside the prison. I've been working on 3 years trying to get Dave Chappelle inside the prison. And everybody I bring on, because I'm like, hey, Dave Chappelle got a huge fan base inside the prison he don't know about. Everybody I bring on, they be like, man, you should get like, they start naming like local comedians. And I'm like, man, I didn't bring you on based on who you know. I brought you on because I believe in your determination, your hustle,
And the impact.
and we could get it done. Like, I got myself to a point where I communicate with his publicist, you know, but I didn't do that on my own. But everybody try to like, the visions that I have, most people just don't have the self-esteem to, you know, go after them, whereas I do.
They don't want you to do it. They want to do it.
And I think that that was one of the biggest things that really played to my benefit. Like if I never robbed, if I never had that little space in my life, because I was only a robber for 90 days. But being a stick-up kid taught me that I was fearless. That if I had never had that moment in my life, I would have never learned about myself that I was fearless.
Everything happened for a reason.
And that's why I could go for things that's so grand. And most people just, they ain't got the heart or the balls to really reach that far and wide, whereas
Keep
I
going.
do.
Just keep going for it. If they show you that pushback, then you know to go around them. Just keep going.
For sure, I do.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I do.
My brother, he always told me, just do it. Just why you keep, well, I need Bobby and Ricky and Ronnie and Mike, and I'm trying to do the show. Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I finally caught on probably 4 years later. Do it
right.
yourself. Just keep going. That's dope. So, and you know that idea of how you're doing this can branch out into so much more.
Yeah, and it does all the time.
You can branch out into music concerts there.
Well, I used to work in the music industry.
Don't do that.
I ain't messing with the
Ooh,
music
you don't
industry
know
no
that.
more.
Stop that. You don't know what God got for you. Don't do
Right.
that.
I
Don't do that.
just know I like to service, because the thing about me is what changed my company was when I stopped doing it for entertainment purposes.
It could be, well, true. It could be independent artists that are growing to grow themselves to expose that.
I'd have been there and done it already. Like when I say I worked in the music industry,
I got
like I really worked. I was like me and Amigos would be sitting right here. Me and Dave East, or
yeah, they all.
You know
We're not gonna do that one today. But
I had a.
We'll be here for a couple hours if we go that route.
I had an internship with a lady named Sincere. You know, like fresh out the joint, she gave me a internship, and she was like really about it. Like most people be name dropping, where Sincere was like really in the mix. She was from New York, and every day that's all our life would consist of. Like when celebrities come to Cleveland, we got to babysit them. We got to make sure they're at the studio.
It's a lot,
and we got to take care of them all day. But from that experience, because I was developing artists too, I had artists around the world. Like one of my artists was the DC Sniper daughter.
It's changing.
And I just wash my hands with the music industry altogether because people don't want to work no more. Everybody just want to wake up one day and be famous, and there's so much more work to be put into it for real.
Changing. I'll talk to you, but I got something really dope. It's changing.
Yeah.
These people that's falling from grace like they have been there so long, it's changing.
Yeah.
But that's how the industry does anyway. It keeps changing.
Yeah, for sure.
I got something dope. We'll talk about it. But okay, so now that you're on this roll, my last question. Yeah. All right. Think about. I can imagine what you're going to say, but we want to hear it anyway. But we still go together, okay? She laughing. We still go together, right? I'm your girlfriend, okay? And I work at Magic City.
So you want to be my girlfriend working at Magic City?
It's a hypothetical story. It's not real.
Yeah, I want to be dating those strippers.
Just take in hypothetically, okay?
You ain't gonna be a dancer. You gonna be the person who managed the money.
I manage the money.
All right, let's
okay,
do that.
We'll change it. I got you. We had to change it for me. I manage the money. I manage the money, and I call you at 6 a.m. one morning when I got off work.
For sure.
And I said, "You like Lord?"
I know how it goes.
And I said, "Oh my God, I just finished this project. This man gave me a whole lot of money. I got some money for you. Check your bank account. I just hooked you up." That's not what I usually say, but yeah. But so you check your bank account. You got $30 million in the bank.
For sure.
I ain't do nothing now. Right? You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wake up with $30 million. That's how I relate to the kids because that's all they know. But anyway.
Right.
Tell me, having $30 million with the ideas you have with this company and how you feel about this world after what you've been through, what would you do with that $30 million to support the community or whatever you will that's going to be positive within the community?
I do a lot for the community already. Like I mean, a lot. Like I'm one of the managers at the Kim Ferguson Civic Center on Lee and Harvard, and we do stuff that I don't talk about this stuff because I don't never want to seem like it's clout or any of that type of stuff, man. But we do stuff like, on Christmas we'll cook a big dinner and just open it up for whoever walking by. We do a lot, man, for the homeless people, for the drunk people.
You have to.
I do so much, so I wouldn't really be doing nothing that I'm not already doing. Like I go state to state and find out like what's the roughest part of town. I go and I pour into it. Like I help old ladies to their cars.
When you protected.
Yeah.
It don't matter where you go.
Yeah, so I'm really strong in that field already. So you go
hard with that. You just go real hard with it.
Yeah. I mean, I go hard with it now, for real. I really can't see the adjustments that I can make because...
I mean, freely with the money. You get it, so now you got the money. You can just plan and go however you want to. You ain't got to sit and go, let me do this, let me figure this out. You got it. You can just go.
Right, so I'm already living that life.
You're already doing it.
Yeah, my life's so abundant. Like...
I know that's dope.
I don't even when I don't have like that's physical money myself, I'm surrounded around millionaires who like anything I want to do, they like, man, let's do it, Wall Street. You ain't gotta ask twice. So the Most High just make sure that anything I want, anything that's I need, man, I like, man, that's why I try to tell people like, man, my dudes be like, man, when you blow up, man, don't forget about me. I'm like, man, I blew up 10 years ago. Yeah. Like I'm still talking to you now.
Yeah.
I live in a beautiful home. I live a very great life, and it's just like
that's dope.
Life is great for me. Like I could really go inside my house and never come back outside ever again.
That's right.
And only reason why I do come outside is to share my strength. Like I'm so blessed.
That's dope.
God has me so much in His favor, and it's too much for me to handle on my own. So I only come outside just to spread God's blessings that He given me.
That is so dope.
That's man.
I ain't never had that answer, but I do it on purpose.
Sure.
See, now there's someone that's gonna see your answer, and then realize that they should be grateful for what they have.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it regardless. Even if I got $1 in my pocket, I'm gonna do right.
But that's the thing that I teach them. They get on here and they say, "Yeah, I'm gonna create a school. I'm gonna help the homeless." And at the end of the interview, I always tell them, you could be doing that now. So that's usually what I say.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I can't say that to you because you're already doing it.
Yeah, I
And
might.
that was your answer.
You liable to ride down Lee and Harvard and see me sitting in the dumpster with a homeless dude because he smelled like pee and he smelled like Coke 45. Everybody trying to get away from me, but I sit there with him because he really got something on his mind.
Word out his mind.
And
yes.
I sit there, I buy him Taco Bell, and we'd sit there on the ground. I might have fresh clothes on,
That's dope.
but I don't even care about it. And I don't tell nobody about this stuff because I just know that I'm doing God's work and there's nothing to brag on.
That's dope. I can do nothing but respect that.
For sure.
It's so many times at the end, I always have to tell them, oh, okay, so that's what you would do? Well, you could start it right now.
Yeah,
You don't
for
have to
sure.
wait till you get the money.
Yeah, on a day-to-day basis, I'm like literally giving the shirt off my back, literally giving the shoes off my feet. You know, like she'll tell you, like I came home barefooted the other day because
You gave away your shoes.
yeah, so like some little kid was like, oh man, those are all real LeBrons, those hard. So I went to go. I'm like, good looking. I kept on walking, and God put it in my spirit, like, man, give them to him. I'm like, what size shoe you wear? He like 11 and a half. I'm like, these are 12. You want them? He was like, you serious? I took them on my feet. I gave them to him. He like, man, I ain't never had no LeBrons.
That's dope.
And I walked on barefooted,
Yeah.
man. But it just made God love me so much that I feel like I gotta pour into His people. I gotta love on His people.
Yeah.
I feel like that God would cut my water off if I didn't show up in this world servicing His people. You know.
That is so, man, this is one of the most, and you got me all, your spirit got me all calm. I don't be being here like, hey, yeah, I can't. I'm vibing
For
with you, and
sure,
I
for
think you
sure.
are so dope.
I appreciate
and
that.
I really respect you taking out your time. And I'm nosy. I'll be watching.
Right.
That's so dope. Just keep doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure everybody see and hear everything you
Yeah,
just
for
said
sure.
today because it's just amazing.
Thank you. And if
It's
anything I can do to
amazing.
service you as well, let me know.
It's amazing for you to even have that energy after what you've been through. But when God walking with you, it don't matter where you at.
Yeah. And
It
then
doesn't matter.
I tell everybody, yes, I've been through trauma, but I'm not traumatized. Like everything I've ever been through in life, it only showed me how strong I am. It only showed me how resilient I am. It only showed me how much God is really on my side. So even though I've been through the worst, it only made me more confident in my belief system in God.
That is so dope.
Yeah.
Like, I really ain't too much more I can ask you, man. You just, I love what we have talked over a while, but that's okay.
For sure.
But I freaking love that about you. Anytime you want to come here to promote or speak on anything you got going on, or, you know, get some type of support, we can definitely talk. You know, the Nerve DJs is a 501c3. I always say it backwards. I'm trying to body. I always say it backwards, and we're here supporting our communities also with the things that we love to do. It's a full DJ school
Yeah, I'm
here,
familiar.
music
I pop up to
production.
they used to be on London. I used to stay across the streets when they had the Nerve DJ meetings. I would go to sit in they meetings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, he brings like dope people here for the DJs, and we have really dope. They have the kids come here to teaching them broadcasting. It's the institute and everything. Oh, and I'm the regional vice president of the Nerd DJs. Yes,
Oh, wow,
and I
that's
do. I
dope.
help and support independent artists. A lot of people that want to be successful like that have been through traumatizing things in their life, and music actually gives them the platform to express themselves and give them something to show their talents and forget their traumas until they're old enough to
Yeah.
process it, because everybody's not able to process it if they don't have that right environment, and music does that, in my opinion.
I agree.
So I'll be reaching out to you for things, and you never know.
I would like to promote one thing.
Go, hey, I'm about to give you the floor. That's
sure.
my next thing. Okay, this is DJ Squirt Grammy stage. All right, I give everybody the Grammy stage.
For sure.
At this point is when you go ahead and show your love, say your thank yous to whoever, however, and whatever you got going on. Go right ahead, boo.
Before I promote what I want to promote, first, and this is somebody, if you're not already familiar to, I want to give a shout to my sponsor, Comma Club. Comma Club is created by a man named Ruel Saylor. He was wrongly convicted. He did 15 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. So now he has a business called Comma Club. It's on 185th and Lakeshore. That's why you always see me. He been back in my career for a long time. So I want to promote Comma Club and Ruel Saylor. I also want to say that, in the poetry world, I purposely set my mind to always do game-changing stuff. I study what everybody else is doing, and I try to do something totally different. So one thing that I do is when I go around, I create group poems. Like I might go inside the prisons, and I might have like 200 men, and collectively, I'll pick everybody's brain and turn it into one giant poem. I've been going around the world doing this for like the last couple months. So naturally, when you get a collection of poems, people be like, "Oh man, you should write a book." So I feel like that's like really cliche. The effort that I would have to put in behind that book is something that I don't want to do. So I went to the drawing boards. I try to figure out how can I really, create some currency with these poems to pour back into my business. So what I'm organizing is a silent auction. It's a private silent auction. It's not open to the public, but for anyone who chooses to want to, donate or be generous to the cause that I'm doing, everything I'm doing is backed by licensed professionals, Cleveland Clinic, New Visions Unlimited. So I'm gonna do a silent auction where I might have the poem on like a 20 by 30 piece of paper. It's gonna be framed, and I'm gonna auction off all of these poems.
Wow.
Each poem will start off at $1,500.
Okay.
And you're not paying for the poem; you're really paying for the work that's going into these poems. Like even with the women that I teach poetry group to, who lost their kids to the court, it be plenty of days where these women like, I don't have Pampers for my kids, or I don't have this and I don't that. So I'm trying to raise the money. So whenever they need something, man, Wall Street got you. If you're gonna be in my program, I don't want to sit here and just, build poetry with you. I want to really change your life, because the courts is making it so hard for these women to get their kids back.
So hard.
That I want to offset it. And even
they need them kids for what the agenda is.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So even with the silent auction, the last time I did it, the only people that I invited were the judges, the mental health facilities, the social workers, because my goal was for them to see these women as women and not their cases. And they got to read poems about how they're not complete without their kids, and they made mistakes, but they ain't who they really are. And it was a huge success, man. Some women got their kids back. Some women got more time as far as visitation. So I just really want to promote the silent auction. I'm gonna do it again here in about 2 months. And it's gonna be great. Like all the women gonna be doing poetry. I got women doing dance numbers. I'm gonna have some professional poets show up as well. So anyone who really wants to, be generous to this cause, man, I would definitely urge you to come be a part of something amazing.
That's awesome. You make sure we get that information, and I'll definitely pass it on to our team here at Nerve DJs, and I personally will promote it myself. So we definitely look forward to that, and I'll probably attend, check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the type of things I kick it to. I don't hang out on no clubs.
For sure, yeah, me neither.
Energy's too bad.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I do support as much as I can. But that is fire. All right, let's get them thank yous in.
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
go.
I want to thank, Mighty Rock. He's another professional poet that stay by my side as I travel the world. Mighty Rock is right by my side. Definitely want to thank Justin Ferguson. He's a son of Kim Ferguson.
I heard his name.
One of my best friends. He do amazing work in the community. Like I said, Ruel Saylor. And just, all of the people who allow me to service them and be a servant to them for real, and I'm very grateful for the people who allow me into their personal space to be vulnerable with, and I'm just thankful that God could trust me with his people.
That's dope. Y'all ain't never seen me this calm. His energy is so peaceful.
For sure.
I don't know what to do. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I
We
don't
should
have
light
a
an incense.
Yes, I don't have a reason to be like, what's up? I'm not even. It's amazing. This is a really dope interview. You guys make sure that you check out. Hey, give them your social media and your information,
for
how to
sure.
follow you and everything.
I'm on Instagram at Wall Street West GMTD, but it's just West WES. If you put WST, you're not gonna find me because that's not my name. So it's Wall Street West GMTD, and my Instagram is really like it's really like my website. Like if you want to learn anything about my business or anything that I'm doing in the community, that's the whole point of my Instagram. You ain't gonna see nothing personal on there. It's strictly a guide for anyone who want to get a better understanding on Wall Street West and great minds think different.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be totally beneficial for you to get a website.
I mean, I have one, but it's geared towards me as an individual and me as a poet, and I've been trying to get it updated for my business, but and it's just hard to find people who are gonna do the work you're looking for.
Well,
man.
I do that. Let me know what you need. I'll be glad to help you out.
Because I just really need to give my existing website a facelift. Like I don't need a brand new one. I just need to give it a facelift.
I understand. I've done that before. I help independent artists and I show them how to make money with their music. give them something inspiring and work towards it. Like, you ain't got nothing else to do, you ain't got no money, you should be able to learn this. We ain't got time to be playing with you. Okay, if you need me, let me know. I got you. That's what I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll take care of that for you. But you'll be shocked to have somebody from Australia book you because of what you get it.
Right, and
So you need that open.
And it's coming down the pipeline because I've had people in Canada try to book me, but
You gotta
with
open
my
it.
felony conviction, I can't go to Canada.
Can't get airport.
Yeah.
But you can start doing like videos, have them purchase whatever to see the video on your website.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I got you. We'll talk about that later.
For sure.
But oh my God, this has been a really dope. Y'all see me all calm. His spirit is so peaceful and calm, and he's shooting out all these gems. I hope everyone watched this and that you're learning from this. This has been a really dope interview. Again, we are live in Nerve DJs Radio. This is the DJ Squirt Radio Show. I got Wall Street West in the building, live in studio. Y'all don't get it like this. Y'all don't get it like this. But he is amazing. I hope you guys will watch this. Definitely leave a comment. Definitely, show some vibes, show some love. Follow him on social media. Let anything you have that you have going on in this community that you would like us to know, or you might want us to pass on to him. Hey, leave it in the comments. We got you. But again, it's been another interview. Y'all know I've been here longer than I'm supposed to be, but I love it. He is amazing. Wall Street West has been here with DJ Squirt. He got Squirtified. He did it. He did it. But everybody got personality. We don't go together anymore, so whoever you are, ma'am, we're broke up, okay? I'm just playing. We are broke up, and he has been splashed on. You guys make sure that you tap in, download that Nerve DJs radio app, hit that TV in the app, check in with me every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on all my social media. I am DJ Squirt. Follow me on my website, iamdjsquirt.com. You guys tap in, because Nerve DJs is running the city. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you, dear. You're so amazing.
Appreciate it. You as well.
We're going to take some pictures now.
For sure. I'm with
We're
it.
going to get a nice little video drop, and then I'm going to let you go. It is the holiday weekend. I appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. Good night.